Hello, everyone. It's Paul Gill. I'm the CEO of Pampa Metals, and we have a very excellent presentation to show you about Pampa. Thanks very much for attending. Now, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the mining business for about 17 years. I was the CEO of Norsemont Mining, which ended up optioning projects from Rio Tinto back in the 2000s and sold that project Constancia to Hudbay for about $500 million. And that mine is operating today and worth about 20 billion. So I'm really excited to share with you about opportunities in Chile and a new concept in looking for copper projects in what's one of the best jurisdictions in the world. So let's jump right in. First of all, Pampa trades under the CSE in Canada under the symbol PM, and it is also on the OTC under the symbol PMMCF. So do make a note of that and take it down. We're at about 12 million market cap right now, trading at about 20 cents US and 27 cents Canadian. We are going to make some statements, so just want you to be aware of that in regards to future and forward-looking statements. So here's a snapshot. Copper is one of the greatest growth portfolios that there is. Gold is attractive, but copper, you need it every day. Everything you touch almost every day has something to do with copper. Chile is the place where copper comes from. 30% of the world's copper is produced in Chile. If you're not looking in Chile, you're not looking in the right spot. We have a highly experienced team, and we have a great project portfolio, and that includes 6 projects that are active right now. 6 projects that are active at present time. That's very much different than most companies our size. So what's our objective? What we want to do is find a very big deposit that's greenfield, hasn't been touched before. It's not something that's been drilled before. So we're at the sharp end of the rope here. We're climbing the mountain at the very top and looking for these projects that are untouched and unknown. So 100% interest in 8 exploration projects. That's a big land package, 62,000 hectares. Now here's us. Myself, Paul Gill. I've been experienced in the public markets for a long time. I'm the chair of Lamico Metals and also involved as the CEO of Pampa Metals. Adrian Manger has been with BHP for 20 years before he joined us as chairman, and actually built a mine called the Spence Mine in Chile. Timothy Beale deals with most of the geological decisions for our company, and he's been with Anglo American and Rio Tinto, and has been working and living in Chile, Argentina, and Peru. Fluent in Spanish and has a good rapport with our country manager as well, and he manages and directs the activity. Yanis Sotis is a physicist, a geophysicist, and has been involved working with BHP on corporate development previously, and has a great group of contacts in the Latin America. Gurdeep Bains is a CFO and corporate secretary, has 20 years experience and has worked for Canaccord Genuity. And Julian Bavin, who is a director living in Chile as a senior executive and has been a geologist with Rio Tinto, and has some very excellent contacts, of course, from his time there. So here we go. We've told you all about this. I don't need to go over it. Are we in a copper super cycle? Absolutely. If you look at the long chart of copper, we've seen a development over the years in industrial situations in which copper was required and the copper markets ran. We see it first in the 1960s, the 1990s, a really big run in the 2000s, in the middle of the 2000s, which I was a part of with Norsemont, as I was saying. And then now we've had a settling down, and now we're going for another big cycle, which is being forced really by the electric vehicle industry and the fact that there's more pressure to do that, to get those materials for electric vehicles, and also just general development. What's the drivers and what's the fundamentals? Well, electrical conductivity, of course, malleability to make copper wire, antimicrobial properties. Some of the masks today that are used to prevent COVID have copper in them. Copper kills these contagious items on contact, and absolutely everywhere is where copper is used. And so, there's a very short supply of it. So where's the supply? Right now, Chile's 30% of the global production. All the major mining companies are there. If you look, Codelco, Glencore, Freeport-McMoRan, BHP, all of those are big mines. And we feel that now there is a divergence between China and the Western world, in which China is supplying materials and buying copper for itself. And we're having to, in the Western world, look at locations like Chile to supply materials. So this is the most prolific copper producer in the world. We've gone over a lot of this. Here's the location that we're interested in, the mineral belt in and around Antofagasta. And as you can see, all the green dots here are mines that already exist. And that's fantastic. We have a very prospective area here that we're focused on. Here's the location of our projects. There's a 100% ownership of 8 projects in that area, and that's a massive property portfolio. Now, just a note on this, we acquired those projects for about 7 million in cash and shares. When we acquired Norsemont's one project, Constancia, the full cost of that was $70 million. So right there, you have paid 1/10 of the cost for 8 times the potential value. So that's a great thing to think about just on the nuts and bolts of corporate development. That gives you an idea of how valuable this company is. Only $12 million market cap. This is something that you have to take a look at and put on your watch list. So those are the projects. Now, 2 are under joint venture currently with Austral Gold. And you can see this right down here. Cerro Blancos and Moros Blancos are being drilled. Austral is a gold producer and needs to take a look at adding to their gold portfolio. Those are the 2, Redondo Veronica and Cerro Buenos Aires, which is our 2 major ones. We've done some reverse circulation drilling to really identify the big systems under the ground. And now this is something we're going to talk about, is that most of the targets we look at aren't available at the surface. You can't see them on the surface. You have to look deeper. So that's one of the reasons why we found this. We have the geological team that has the experience to do this, where a lot of people saying, oh, you can't find anything in Chile, you have to go somewhere else. No, that's not the case. You have to know where to look and how to look. And we have those people who can tell you exactly where the best chances of finding these particular projects are. Here's a joint venture group. And as I said, the interesting deal here with them is that they will earn 80% of the project, and at the preliminary economic stage, which means they have to expend money on drilling and then producing a report. Now, if the copper content of that report or the copper economics of that report indicate that it's more valuable than the gold, we get to earn the project back. So that's really fascinating. So we get a free ride up until that point. Even if it does turn out that the gold's more valuable, we get to keep 20%. So it's a really win-win deal for both sides. Here's our structure right now. This is a really tight situation. 43 million shares out, 9 million warrants. 3.6 million options. All those warrants and options are well out of the money. Warrants at 60 cents, options at 45 cents, and fully diluted. We still have cash in the bank at present, but we will be looking to raise in the next little while. But certainly working on the market right now and working on a market awareness so that investors know that we exist. We've talked about what we're looking for. We're looking for elephant country copper in Chile, and this is where you find the big projects. Here's where we're